so much. I'd love your calls on this now. Should Brits toughen up when it comes to our mental health? 020 7862 2222 is the number. Tell us what you think. A new poll of 2,000 adults has found that more than half of the public believe mental health conditions are exaggerated. 3/4 think some people mistake life's ups and downs for a mental illness. In the UK, mental health statistics indicate that around 1 in 6 adults experience symptoms of a common mental health problem, such as anxiety or depression. In any given week, that's around 10 million adults in England alone. And there's also a significant amount of children in the same boat too. Brian, what do you make of this?
Oh dear. Oh dear. We all have crises in our lives, whether it's bereavement, illness, job issues. We all have it. And you just have to get through it. You have to use your own devices, rely on your family and friends, get through it. I think these days we hear about the mental health crisis far too much. And children with mental health issues, I think there are very, very few children with mental health issues.
Yasmin?
Well, why am I not surprised? The electoral calculus, let me just say this, which did this survey, is a right-wing, well-known right-wing organisation. And that's not a criticism of it, but I think people should know where they're coming from.
But
and
with a survey, it doesn't matter, does it?
No. Surveys can be, oh my God, I can tell you a whole hour of our surveys are
Oh, OK, because I read this straight.
OK. But what they're finding is what Brian said, which is a lot of people in this country believe. But a lot of people in this country who know what mental illness is, who know how families have suffered for generations, not getting help, not getting any diagnosis, not being believed. The suffering has been immense.
But
so
are
I'm
we
really pleased.
overdiagnosing
I'm sure
now?
some people are taking the mick. I'm not saying all of these cases.
That's the point, isn't it?
But
Yes,
very few people can make. I had a very severely mentally ill sister who was mentally ill, progressively so. We didn't even get a diagnosis. She was 10 years older than me and she died of COVID. So when they diagnosed her, which was in the 1980s, we didn't even know what she had.
This is not learning difficulties, this was a mental illness?
She was just deteriorating mentally.
OK.
And we didn't know what it was, because in my community, we don't talk about mental illness.
And what was it?
We don't know.
OK.
Because we were never... But what I do know is she was pumped up with drugs, so that within 10 years, she was a zombie.
Well,
and we still didn't know.
But then,
that
Right?
rather defeats the object of the argument, doesn't it? She's pumped up with drugs. You're saying she shouldn't have been pumped up with
No, I'm saying she wasn't properly diagnosed. She was offered no talking therapy. I paid for a psychiatrist.
But maybe that's just, I don't know, I'm not trying to guess what Brian's argument is here, but maybe that's just her. That's her life. She wasn't ill. That was her.
No, she was wonderful before this.
Yeah. Oh, OK, so she had an episode.
An artist.
All right.
She was beautiful. She was wonderful.
Isn't the fact,
and then this thing got her.
Brian, isn't it that two things have happened? We've learned to recognise mental illness more quickly. That's good. And secondly, there's more of it because life is more rubbish.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Is life any more difficult
Yes.
today than it was in the 1950s? Is it really? Are people worse off? There is just too many problems. People say, oh, I've got to go to the doctor over. And you haven't taken aspirin or go to bed earlier or stop drinking or stop taking drugs or whatever.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you go to a war zone. I'm not going to name one anywhere in the world, but we can turn on our TV and see them.
We had a whole generation of men in this country who went to a war zone from 1939 to 45.
And
the vast majority came back and got on with their lives.
Not the vast majority.
The vast majority did.
Loads of them were broken, were absolutely left helpless. Their families watched them die over and over again. And you just want to cut out that real life. You cut out that reality.
They got when they went back to Civvy Street and they took a job up and that was the end of it.
Not all of them.
Right.
Well, not all of them, but the vast majority got on with their lives.
They wanted.
They got married, they had children, they had
jobs. And what about the ones who couldn't do that, who were broken?
Well, OK.
They didn't get help.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
They didn't. That's true. That's true. They had PTSD and everything else, and shell shock, as it was called. I don't know, but the thing is, there's less to be upset about in our society now. That's what I was kind of talking about, this war zone thing. If you go to the eastern edge of Ukraine, is it possible that there are fewer people with anxiety there than there are in our society?
Well, we don't know.
Well, it might be, and I don't know what explains that.
There are other factors that have come into play which none of us anticipated. The force and power of social media.
Yeah, for sure.
None of us experienced that. None of us knew what could happen as a result of it.
Well, that's a lot of doctors think the reason we've got this depression problem is social media, but they can't quite work out how the two things go together.
People have read about it on social media. People have read stuff on Twitter and Facebook and other things.
So you don't believe there is a depression problem? You don't believe
No, I
people
don't
have
believe there is.
anxiety?
Some people do, yes, of course, some people do.
But no more than
no
normal.
more than in past generations.
Like 2-3% or whatever.
No, it was just not recognised back
All right,
then.
Amy in London, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Who do you think is right here, Brian or Yasmin?
Well, surprisingly, lately I've been agreeing with Yasmin on almost everything, which I never used to. But today,
My new best friend, Amy.
Okay, so what because you think
Absolutely. I love you anyway.
this depression thing is real?
It is very real. I'm speaking as someone who's had a mental breakdown. I've had mental struggles for many years, and the gentleman on your panel, with all due respect, the dismissiveness. Do you know what? If I had someone who had talked to me like that when I was in that fragile, at my worst state, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Well, he's not a psychotherapist, so he's not been giving anyone that advice
but
in counselling. But
just the lack of understanding. Look, with therapy and talking about it, that's the only way that I personally got better. And it's the world we live in. You've kind of mentioned it today. The social media, the isolation, just people, if you don't work outside, you don't have to leave your home. This is so destructive.
I hear you. But so how does the social media bring it on? That's the thing I don't get, Amy. What is it, just to do with speed of life and stuff?
Well, that's the other thing. I've got a teenage son who does struggle with mental this problem, and he was bullied online. As you know, that's quite common. Yeah. He's getting therapy himself now. It's very real. And
tell him to turn his phone off.
Well, Brian says get him to turn his phone off.
That's just, I'm not even going to comment about that. But
Why? If something's causing the problem, stop doing it. If it's drink or drugs or smoking that's causing your issues, stop doing it.
Amy?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's so easy to just be so dismissive. But I'm telling you, with AI and everything, that it's only going to get worse. And if you don't talk about it, being left alone with a mental illness is so dangerous and so wrong to tell someone to toughen up. Because unless you've been in that situation, you can't possibly know how hard it is.
We've all been there. We've all had issues in our lives. And the vast majority of us have got through it.
It's not true. I didn't have the mental illness my sister had.
Okay, all right, so okay? Amy, hang on. Go on, Amy.
With all due respect, he probably hasn't had the issues that most people have,
How on earth do you know what issues I've had in my life?
Absolutely not. But I would never dismiss anything that anyone is going through.
In fact, I don't care to parade them in front of the public. That's how I live my life. I live my life in private. I don't care to parade my personal life or my private life in front of the public.
So you might have had a crisis, but you wouldn't tell us if you had?
Correct.
OK. Amy, thank you, and bless you and your son. Thank you. Jack in Cheshire, do you think we're over-diagnosing mental health problems?
It's what it comes down to, Jeremy. 2.5 years ago, I was in hospital, and I will never forget seeing on the scan screen the size of the blood clot in my heart. And as far as I know, I'm pretty sure it's still there, because I really do suffer so very, very badly with tiredness, which really gets me really wound up and annoyed. I also have a prolapsed disc in my back, caused me a serious amount of pain.
Yes.
I also have really bad type 2 diabetes, which probably will kill me in the next couple of years, and I'm fully expecting it to do so.
Are you depressed, Jack?
Well, I was till I saw your impersonation, Donald Trump, to be honest with you. That just about keeps me going.
Good, that's so good.
Donald Trump being honest with you, and I'm being very straight with you, Jeremy. It's the only good thing I can say about the man is your impersonation of him.
Okay, I'm glad it's cheered you up. Thank
so
you.
glad
Yasmin doesn't
Yasmin
think we should laugh at him. Jack, bless you. Thank you. Charlotte in County Durham, hi.
Hello.
Are we overdiagnosing depression?
At the risk of sounding hypocritical, I think that we are, because I don't think that there needs to be as many people on antidepressants as what there are. Now, I've been on them for over 30 years, and I have
30?
to stay on them. Yes, 33 years, I think.
That's almost, so wait a minute, because Prozac was invented in 1988, so you're almost right back
Was
at the
it?
start. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So there are some people like me who do need to be on them for life, and then there's other people that need to take them for a short period of time, and then there's others that really don't need to take them at all. And I mean, I think that mental health and mental illness are confused. I think that different types of mental illness are also confused, and I term it as nature or nurture. Like some people are, born with something in their brain that's making them mentally ill, and then others, and I'm a bit of both actually, although I think I'm more nurture. By that I mean that my childhood was so atrocious that I'm not just damaged, I'm destroyed.
Oh, Charlotte.
And this is why
I'm sorry.
I have to be on antidepressants.
Yeah. Are they working for you?
I do think that some people maybe don't need to be on them.
Well, I think sometimes, thank you, Charlotte. I think sometimes people who have really suffered with major league depression are the ones who are most sceptical about other people's mental illness, interestingly.
Well, we don't know
because they
that.
say unless you're checked into a hospital, you're not mentally ill. There's a classic example.
I mean, yes, the opinions vary. But I do think if you've experienced that or somebody in your family has experienced it, you are much more open-hearted and much more willing to give people the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not sure.
Yeah?
I'm not sure.
Well, I think that
yeah.
I am the way I am because I saw my sister and others in my family, suffer terribly. And like I said, in my community, we don't even have the language.
Understood. Thank you.
And that's so bad.
Later, the papers and everything else find out how the Lionesses will be celebrated.